All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast. Let's get lit. We got my boy Johnny Nitafan back in the cut. Dude, how the hell is
Let's
it going?
go, baby. Good, bro. Good, man. It's good to see you. Shoot, it's been too long, bro. But yeah, things are good, dude. Seriously, like super grateful.
Well, dude, what you were telling me before the podcast started, you've wrote over 100 grand in the last 3 months of premium. Is that correct?
Yeah, like it's more like two and a half ish. But yeah, it's right around there. Yeah, dude, it's nuts. Things are blowing up. We like really building out a platform system and being able to like really like create an infrastructure for like a good experience for an onboarding for agents, but also like a good client experience. So on the back end, being able to like retain all those clients that we're bringing in. But dude, it's like the floodgates of heaven have been open, dude. Like, shoot, seriously, dude.
And I've noticed you've been posting a lot of like this new lead source or something. Can you dive into
Yeah,
that a little bit? Like, what is that
yeah,
exactly?
yeah. So it's I mean, so pretty much what it is um we so it's a direct mail drop sent out, and then they call into our system, drop their information. They have to go through a four-step process. They literally can click one, talk to a licensed agent, gets to a screener, an opener, and pretty much from there, if both decision makers are there, she qualifies them. Literally live transfers it to us. It's a warm handoff. Um, Literally like taken two today so far. Um, Closed two apps. Like literally, it's nuts. And then from there, if I'm not available in an appointment, because there's like 5 to 10 appointments a day now, it's stupid crazy. But like pretty much, if I'm not available, set an appointment or call back. Like literally, just one came in. So I'll call them like here in a few minutes, like after this. But like, set an appointment. If I'm not available, it goes to the team, and then pretty much from there, like if they don't click one to go to a live transfer, all the lead like all the stuff is there, and then I have some dialers calling out, and I just pay them some commission on that. So they're just dialing and sending live transfers over as well, booking up the calendar, setting appointments, stuff like that. So if I'm available, they'll send it over and give a warm handoff. Hey, this is Johnny. He's our best agent, and stuff like that. And if I'm not available, then they'll just put it on the calendar. So it's been seeing like it's a way to get some good pre-booked appointments that are not just going through a funnel, but like somebody actually talked to them, and we train them in house. So it's been really solid.
That's awesome to hear, man. And how's your team going after? I know we've both parted our ways from Symmetry. So how's
Yeah.
everything going on the new team?
Yeah, no, it's really good. Dude, it's since Ultimate Agent, and then the announcement of Impact, it's just been stupid crazy. I've learned a lot through it in terms of like really building out a system of like if you like choosing and being very selective of the people who I'm actually pouring into. And so, but it's cool because we got a younger team. Uh, Almost everybody's under 30, and then there's a few people over 30. But it's cool because it's a young group, and just like we got dial teams going, we got just different stuff like that. Like today, I just did a live presentation, and then they gave me some feedback on it, and it was pretty cool to have like almost 20 people on there and just doing a presentation on there, people listening. But the team is just exploded. We got about 30 people in the agency now. Um, so a lot of it is pre-licensing or getting releases from different IMOs. But right now we're right around 60 to 70,000 a month. Our goal is to get to break 100K here before the end of the year. That's our goal. So we're just building out a ton of infrastructure. But it's really building the system. It's not easy that by any means, but it's like really being able to have a step-by-step process from somebody who literally brand new comes into the business to like somebody selling a policy. How do you get that's a challenge to even get them licensed, but then it's like from there to get them to writing and paid, it's a whole process. So like really looking at from an outside, okay, how do you do this? And you literally step by step bring them along the way, listening to hear all this stuff. So Pretty much building a system. That's what I've been working on a ton. So it's been like crazy, but it's been so amazing.
And how's your boy Adam doing?
Dude, Adam's been killing it, dude. Like,
That's what I love to hear,
bro,
man.
yeah, he's been killing it. So yeah, dude. Shout out to you for that. I'm like, it's cool because we both are like, it's cool because we're both like been touched by you and helped by you. And so it's cool because we like connect on that a lot.
It was just cool.
So
He came in the Running Buddies program, and did you kind of hear his backstory of everything that was happening?
the health insurance stuff,
Just
like it
health
wasn't
insurance,
great.
but like how scared he was to pick up the phone and stuff. So like I erased
Yeah,
all that from his unconscious, and then he goes out there like the first day, right after I tell him to set some appointments, make some sales. It's like that's how we do it, man.
dude, it's stupid crazy because like literally he put that he hit me up and then he put that in the this like what is it on the Facebook group and like sharing his story and then dude at 8% he was talking to people about it and how he's able to do that and dude it's crazy and then we were talking more about like how to get to like a $10,000 APV in 6 weeks and it's like what that would actually look like and stuff. So it's crazy because you get to from somebody who's scared to pick up the phone to actually like 5 grand in business in 4 days is not like, dude, not many people can do that. And so to literally go like from scared to like 5,000 in 4 days, dude, that's a pretty cool story.
Well, yeah, but let's just keep it in the context of like even outside of running buddies. Obviously, I coached him and you, but how do you think people can make that mental shift to break that without like going through a coaching program? Because I really just want to help the insurance, like the life insurance agents out.
Yeah.
How do you think that they could do that? Like, how would you break through those mental shifts if you had never met me? What would you do to get there?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I would like it would be you helped me a ton with that, but at the end of the day, like we're a full like what I'm doing is we're building a full telesales agency now, so it's like really big and heavy on just like over the phone stuff, and like you even broke a limiting belief and helped me with that of like I literally was like, dude, it's hard to get a social security number, it's hard to get a banking info, all that stuff over the phone, but it's like what you think like it meant like it really like if you grow the thought over and over and over again, like it plants into your life and you actually see that more and more. It's like seeing the red car you want or like the whatever it is, right? It was always there, but all of a sudden it starts clicking in the unconscious mind, like it's like, oh shoot, it wakes up. And so I think that that's the same thing with dialing. Like if you get stuck on a routing or account number or banking info or social number, whatever it is, and you let that like if you let that grow, it's just going to grow in your life. And so I think um, back to your question, like honestly, it's the what's the worst thing that could happen? They could hang up the phone. I mean, but they're not going to hurt me. Like I'm literally calling from like not even my cell phone. I'm calling from a different number that is my work phone. That dude, they can't do anything to me. So I think at the end of the day, like realizing living in reality of like what's literally the worst thing that could happen. And also for us, like we literally are getting back to people about information they filled out and showed interest in. And they literally went through a step by step process. Like for us, people are calling in, they literally enter a 9-digit code, click, 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 click on their phone. And then it says, is this you, Miss Betty? Yes. They literally click one. And then they're like, do you have a co-bar or a spouse? They literally click no. And then they go in and out right after that, they're like, okay, what is your date of birth? They click their date of birth. And then it's just like you literally are, there's so much intent behind that it's like, oh my gosh, like there's no fear if you're literally getting back to somebody about information they requested. So, but it's really like a step by step, like, okay, like what's the worst that could happen? Use that, you go with that. And then what's the best thing that could happen too? Like, literally, this can make you a ton of money. People always are asking me, like, why do you like insurance so much? Like, that's weird. Like,
It's the
I'm
opportunity
like, dude, it's
size.
exactly like it's not what it is. It doesn't matter, but it's what it can do and what it's providing. Bailey and I just moved into a two-bedroom apartment now, and like down in here in Tempe, and it's super nice, dude. Like it's double the square foot of our apartment before. And it's like, dude, it's insane because now it's like I actually have an office that I work out of, not out of the living room. And so it's like it's just so surreal, dude. Like just different stuff like that. We don't really want to go crazy. We just want to be able to like this is functional. Like to have a room for my office and a room for where like our bedroom and then a living room, dude. It's just like functional. So like it's not like going crazy. Like okay, now we're gonna like we're doing well. Now we're gonna like buy all this stuff. But I think it's like what works, and I think we're probably gonna be here for like a couple of years. And I was just envisioning like, dude, in a couple of years, oh my gosh, like we're gonna become millionaires in this apartment. And we were talking about that. I was like, it's gonna be stupid crazy when we move out of here and like we're gonna be doing so like our lives are gonna be so different. But
Yes.
that was
What you
a
were
little bit.
talking about like looking for that red car and then you found one. Do you know what that comes from?
Uh, I don't know. I don't know what it's
It's your
called, but
RAS. It's your reticular activating system. So that's where the term
yeah,
like perception is projection comes in. So what you're thinking is what you're going to project. If I'm bothering this person, if I think I'm bothering this person, I'm probably bothering them. But that comes from your brain stem. Like it filters out all the important shit to get to the important data. But that's why you can like it block out the noise from a crowd full of people talking. But the moment someone says your name, you tune into it. So that's
yeah,
where that comes from.
that's crazy. It's funny because I've heard a lot of different people in my life that have like been doing NLP stuff, and I'm like, bro, like I'm gonna get to it. I just like I've been learning a little stuff. Like obviously you've taught me a little bit of it, but nothing to the extreme of what you've done. But that's something I need to do here in the next year or
Well, yeah,
two.
I went through my
Do that.
introduction, my practitioner class, my master practitioner class. I went through all the hypnotherapy uh, and APEP, it's accelerated personal evolution program. I got my master trainer. Like I actually just got my, now I can actually certify other people in NLP. This literally just came in the mail today. So
That's
I can like certify
crazy.
hypnotherapists, master coaches, and it's all backed. But this is by far the coolest tool I have ever used in my life. And if you look at like even Jeremy Miner, the NEPQ stuff, most of his stuff originates from neurolinguistic programming.
Dude, that's crazy.
Like that is the power of a question-based script or framework, is that it internally motivates the client. It's not external motivation coming from the salesperson, because that wears off. If they make a decision on why they need it themselves, it stays on a lot longer. That's how you can reduce churn
It's good.
or chargebacks
It's
for
good.
people.
Boom. Yep.
So, what do you feel like your biggest struggle is right now in the industry?
I would say like my biggest struggle is being able to I mean the things that I'm going through right now is like it's like I just hired an assistant, hired like an appointment setter person that like dials with me, and we she kind of supplements my schedule now as I still dial. Like I don't think it's above, it's doing the boring work like Alex Hormozy talks about, but I think at the end of the day, like it's it, I would say just being able to build a team, like right, like I think it's really good on the front end, but the back end stuff. So that's why I've really emphasized like building the step by step process. I don't have that yet, and so I'm like still really like working on that of like how do you get somebody from interested in the opportunity to getting paid on the opportunity, and I think
So,
like that's
would you like
honestly
me
kind
to
of like what
correct
I'm
you right here?
yeah.
Since you're one of my members, have you checked out the recruiting course at all? Because it has step by step all the processes, infrastructure, funnels that you need already built out for you. It's drag and drop. You just make your own SOPs, back office stuff. You just structure that and rebrand it for yourself. But it's pretty much just a process that is already all yours. So I'm going to tell you to go check
Boom,
it
there
out
we
today.
go. All right, I need to
I'll take that weight off your shoulders, man.
bro, I love it. Step by step. Yeah, I love it. I'm gonna have to check that out.
And like just off the record, like, dude, I want you to know how proud of you I am. Seriously, dude. I think you're like my little brother. and I love you to fucking death, dude. I'd do anything in the world for you, but I am internally grateful for you coming into my life, and I am extremely proud of you just for implementing on everything that I've given you. Because like beginning of this year, you weren't doing no 20K a week stuff. And now you've like blown up, and it is so so cool for me to see. And so
Appreciate you, brother.
Like, what's the biggest thing I have taught you?
Yeah,
just
honestly,
out of my own selfishness, I'm curious.
Yeah, no, I think some of the biggest stuff that you taught me is like think about what you're like. I don't know, like you really pushed me to keep going because like when in the times that I was really like struggling, and when I got to think about it, it's when I got like really challenging stuff like it, and I was like, dude, like rents, dude, this stuff, I gotta pay this, that, whatever, and like I have to buy leads. Like, oh my gosh, like it was like hard to stomach in those moments. But I think what you taught me is like, dude, keep going because it's all gonna click one day. I remember that, dude, and I remember it happening, and dude, it was insane. Like literally, like you were like, in 90 days, it's gonna all like everything's gonna click, and I was like, okay. So we're 1 month in, and like that's when we're talking, and then all of a sudden, the fourth month, like I'm pretty sure, like it was the week of the like 18th or 19th through something, but I actually started in March, which was the third month. So yeah, that was like literally almost 4 exact months, almost 90 days to the T. And you're like, dude, it's all gonna click one day, and you're gonna be like, what just happened? And all of a sudden, it did when I did 25,000 in a week, and I'm like, bro, what in the world? Like, we literally talk about that of like, in 90 days, it's gonna happen. I literally called you because I got to think about it, and I got to pay bills. Literally that week, and all of a sudden that week, I need to think about it into sales. They're thanking me. They're like, thank you so much. Like sending a few people to me. And it's like the crazy transition from that. And I think like you believed in me before I could even believe in myself, and even did believe in myself. Like I remember you yelling at me like, you're a millionaire, you're a billionaire, nobody's telling you that. And I'm like, you're right. But it's like, did I really think about that? Was I really thinking about that? I was just only thinking about 100,000 or 200,000 or a couple 100,000. And you saw the bigger picture in me.
That's the thing right there is you cap yourself in your mind, because people call it a subconscious. I cannot stand that word, because what does sub mean?
Sub? I don't know.
Less than or
less.
under.
Yeah.
Less than or under. The thing that's keeping you alive, I would not necessarily consider that as anything less than. It's just what you're not aware of currently. Like if I ask you how many degrees are in a right angle, Johnny. 90, right. But you weren't aware of that consciously a while ago. But anytime you need something, your unconscious will provide it to you. Like when we were doing our timeline therapy, you're like, oh, I forgot all about that. Like your unconscious is your best friend. It's a 7-year-old Johnny driving the bus. Do you want to give them the old dial-up internet written out instructions that you got from Bing? Or do you want to plug in the TomTom and show them the blue line to follow?
Yeah.
So keep it simple, because your perception is your projection. But people, they say, well, I just want to make 100,000. And they cap themselves to activity that's only going to generate that. And they fall short by like 10,000. They wonder why they can never get to the next level. Well, if you make it 1 million and you hit 900,000, well, you blew 100K out of the water. Why? You had different increments or measuring sticks. Like my measuring stick right now is how many $10,000 courses I can buy. My measuring stick back in the day used to be how many McChickens can I afford at McDonald's. I remember living off McChickens for like 8 months straight. I mean, you're talking about $4 a day for 2 McChickens and a large drink. And that's what I lived off of.
Yeah.
So it's just, how can we increase that unit of measurement? Because what we measure
100%.
multiplies.
Yeah, 100%. It's when you start hanging around people who are talking about spending like large amounts of money, like quick, it's like, it's not really like large for them. And I think like that's one of the biggest things too. Like I don't hesitate now being able to pay into that, like pay into more stuff, because I know that it comes back so much quicker when you choose to release that and be like, let it go and be like, all right, cool. Like I'm doing that. I'm bought in, and like, and all this, like, dude, it's crazy. Cause I don't think people realize that like it comes back so much faster than you put down. Like you put down 10 grand or 15, 20 grand, whatever it is, right? And it comes back way faster than you could think. And all of a sudden you start bringing people in and you're like, okay, like $600 a month, like hiring somebody for that to do like so much work or like different stuff. Like people before that, that'd be like, oh my gosh, like that's like half my paycheck each month or whatever. And all of a sudden I'm like, dude, that's like half an hour of my time of like work. And so you're right, like changing the way, the little increments of like how you judge things, the units of measurement, whatever it is. And I and what you said, like it's funny because my goal is to make $1 million a year, and like on here I literally wrote today like I make
Why
10
not
million
10
a
million?
year.
Okay, 10. I was about to say 10
I
million.
literally wrote it, but I wrote it because I know if I just say I'm gonna make $1 million a year, I'm gonna end up short at 600 to 700, maybe 800,000. But I think if I'm shooting for 10 million, you're shooting for so much higher opportunities that $1 million opportunity wouldn't be able to get. You wouldn't be able to make that if you're only aiming for $1 million, right? And so you talk about that a lot, and you kind of alluded to that earlier. But yeah,
Correct. I just no
literally just
longer like, I just tell people now who come through like running buddies, like you just have to remain unemotional about it. Because if you do or do not get it, then what? Most people, if they don't get it, well, I'm not good enough. I don't deserve it. So I come from a poor family. Like it's stuff I hear every day. And I know you have as well from probably some of your agents. So it's like, how can I set a long-term vision and remain unemotional about whether I get it or not? Because I've kind of quit setting goals and just started installing habits into myself, because I know over a long enough time horizon, I will keep compounding and stacking skills on one another, making myself more valuable. And over time, if you just play the long game, it would be unreasonable for you to not be successful if you started putting those habits in place today, rather than just setting goals that you have no control over. Absolutely. Like I can't reach out into the future and say, okay, this is done off the checklist. But I know if I just install the habits to get me there, it would be unreasonable for me to not be successful in the time frame that I want it to. So it's nailing the day-to-day stuff, the boring work, but still having a long-term vision that's above myself.
Is your goal to get acquired by Alex Hormozi?
Oh, absolutely. 100%. I will.
That's sick.
Like I'm going to work. I love what that dude has done. Him and Bradley are fucking awesome. I've learned more from their YouTube videos in the last 2 months than I have from anyone else in my entire life for free. Like I just spent time to listen to what they were saying and actually implemented it. And it was like, wow, I made 6 figures this month. Like what the hell happened? No one else has been able to do that for me. No course, no business success packages, nothing. No events.
Yeah.
Like YouTube videos of people just giving away the real stuff, because no one ever breaks it down to the micro level. Go run more appointments. Okay. I ran 50 this week. I got 50. I need to think about it. But it's like giving you real tangible stuff you can grab and run with.
Dude, yeah. 100%.
And so how have you been dealing with those like objections now that I need to think about it? It's like helping like a new agent who's going to watch this, because the YouTube algorithm will suck them into the Johnny Nitafan black hole.
Well, hey, if they're like, hey, I need to think about it. Hey, I totally understand you need to think about it. The insurance companies need to think about it too. So let me just quickly verify some of the information, see if we could actually get you approved for this. And while you're thinking about it, they're thinking about it too. So it takes about 3 to 5 days to actually get an answer. So we'll actually be able to see if you can get approved, and you'll be able to have some time to think about it.
Okay. Here is what I have been showing people to use. So, Johnny, you need to think about it. Do you need 2 days or 2 months to make a decision?
2 months.
That's right. It doesn't take time. It takes information to make a decision. So what would you like to know more about? That is all I need to think about it means, is I do not have enough information. Okay, so what do you need to know more on? They need help making an informed decision. Do you like me or does my breath stink? Like, do you like my company? Its core values, what we stand for. Do you think this product will meet your needs? Like, will it solve your problem? If all those are yeses, awesome. Let's get you signed up today. Or hey, where are you at? A one out of 10 on wanting this? A 7? Okay, what would it take to get you to a 10? They'll tell you how they want to be sold. What are some other objections like you hear a lot of in the insurance?
Well, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll throw some at you. The one I got today is like, your letter was the first one to hit my box, so I hit you up. I want to shop around and see what other people offer, and I'm gonna go with the best one.
The best one. Okay, so make sure you save me for last. You're just trying to make sure it's affordable to protect your family, correct?
Yeah.
Awesome. So I can actually shop around with multiple carriers and we'll be able to give you the best rate for what you're looking to do. But what's the main problem you're looking to solve?
Well, I just want
right
the best
back into the why.
And I want to shop. I don't want to shop around myself.
You don't want to shop around yourself. Well, that's exactly
what
I
do.
For.
I
you
do
want to shop around yourself. So how about you go talk to everyone first and save the best for last? Because I'll beat out anybody else's rates. Most of them are going to be captive companies anyways, which just means they can only show you one product line. Then I'll go right back into what are you looking for this to do for you? If he's product shopping, he's worried about price. Like, Johnny, what is your biggest fear? I'm going to take all your money, run off and Western Union it to some Nigerian prince, and we're going to run off with all your money. Is that what you're scared of happening? Or are you scared of making the wrong decision?
That's good.
Perfectly. You just got to meet people where they're at. Like, before Johnny knew what he knows now, where was he at? Awesome. So walk back across that bridge to before you knew what you knew now and meet them where they're at. And then you can help them shortcut the process. So you're cutting the time delay in half, which increases the value because you're taking away effort and sacrifice for them.
Yeah.
Which, with the value equation, it increases their achieved likelihood of success by working with you alone.
100%.
Like, I can solve your problem half as fast as anybody else or twice as fast as anybody else can.
Easy.
What are some other objections you get? Like how do you handle Johnny, I need to talk to my wife about this, man.
No, I've run into that a few times. I mean, does she understand that you're looking for this to, like, would she be opposed of you, like, making sure that she's taken care of and you could stay in the house, like she could stay in the house if you were to die? Like, is she opposed to that? Because let's just see if you can get approved for this first, and then if you go to her and be like, hey, I got coverage, so if I die, you're gonna have the house and you don't have to go homeless. If she tells you and says, hey, like, no, like, you let me know, but honestly, like, I doubt that she'll do that, right?
And yeah, so Johnny, does your wife know you guys have this problem that when you die, she's going to be homeless?
Yeah, she does.
Is she okay with you guys having this problem?
No.
So why would your wife be against you solving a problem that she's already not okay with? Because here's the thing, Johnny, who is she going to blame for not making a decision?
Me.
Correct. And who are you going to blame for not making a decision? Her. And that's not fair to her, right? You're asking for permission when you should be asking for support.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Let's get you signed up today. You like that one?
Yep. I actually listened to that the other day.
That's awesome.
So,
what do you think? I know I asked you this question on the last one, but I want to see if your perception around it has changed. What do you think a newer insurance agent, especially in today's world economy and Google world, Facebook world, Twitter world, what do you think they need to be focused on?
They need to be focused on, like, just literally doing this, like, honing their skills. It takes maybe like 10,000 mistakes, 100,000 mistakes, whatever it is. Different people break up those 10,000 mistakes to be great into either 6 years, 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 days, or 6 hours. And I think the best people actually are able to break that learning curve so fast by making those 10,000 mistakes first. You told me, I actually was on a podcast a couple of weeks ago, and he's like, what's one of the biggest things you learned, or like an aha moment? And I remember we were driving to the Airbnb in Indianapolis, and you're like, get in front of 50 people and I guarantee you'll be pretty good at this. And it's like literally making 50 in-person mistakes before I was able to get good at it. And all of a sudden, like I remember calling you each time, hey, this is what happened. How do I get better? This is what happened. How do I get better? And a lot of times what I see is like, even with the people I work with, they just don't ask for help. Closed mouths really don't get fed. And it's like, how would I know? We're both 1099. We're both we both own our own businesses. If you're not reaching out for help, that's a red flag. Honestly, like if you're not blowing up my phone asking questions, because I guarantee when I was just going into this, like I would call you 3, 4, or 5 times a day. We'd talk. Hey, this is what happened. What do I do? Hey, I just called. What do I do? Hey, this is what happened. I didn't tie this down great. What do I do? And I think asking those questions, but also like being able to beat that learning curve and literally making 10,000 mistakes. And all of a sudden you're going to get better because you're like, oh, that didn't work. Okay, I need to do this. Okay, that didn't work. I need to do this. But not only just making those mistakes, but I think you'll be able to even speed up the learning curve even more by having that drive to make those mistakes and then lining it up with a mentor or somebody who can actually tell you what the right thing is to do.
Yeah, who's got the best?
Can constantly understand
NFL playbook.
The coach.
Who's got the best NFL playbook? Yeah, so just you can shortcut that process because what it's going to cost you, like if someone's course is $5,000, but it takes you a year to learn what was in there when you could have just learned it in a week, what did that cost you? If your time's worth $100 an hour, it costs multiple 10,000s. Yep. So that's a close you can use. Here's the price, here's the cost. You tell me which one you want to pay. But what you were talking about, like closed mouths don't get fed, I heard that so many times. But do you know where it synced in with me at?
Where?
So I was sitting outside one day with my dogs, and I kept hearing a tweet, 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 tweet. I was like, what the heck? And I looked up, man, there's this bird nest on my gutter, like right underneath the roof, under the brick, right under the angle of the gutter, and there's a bird nest. And I was like, I bet if those baby birds didn't open their mouth, they probably wouldn't get fed. Maybe this is where the term comes from. Closed mouths don't get fed. So I was like, I've got to tell everyone I know about this.
Dude, that's so good. It's so true, though. Like, how is somebody supposed to know that you need help if you're not asking for it? Like, it's not, like, especially in the industry we're in, and, like, I think especially if you're a 1099 contractor, like, dude, literally, like, you eat what you kill. And if you're not, like, asking for help, constantly crying out, hey, how do I do this better? How do I do this better? How do I do this better? I guarantee your mentor has things that they're trying to work on that they're not going to know, like that other stuff. Because if you have a good mentor, they have a lot of stuff going on and they're busy. They should be. If they're not busy, then reevaluate your mentor. But honestly, but I think like being able to ask those questions, honestly, like that's one of I think the difference between people who are not like successful is because they don't ask the questions. They don't ask, how do I do this better? They don't go out and make those 10,000 mistakes. They take 6 years, 10 years, whatever it is to break up those 10,000 mistakes, rather than building the skill by doing mass volume and constantly correcting. Like, it's like literally not that hard. That's why it's called the boring work, because you literally get bored doing it. And it's the little things that add up to be the big things, honestly. Like, that's all it is. Like, small wins, I literally have it right here. Small wins today stack up to become massive wins later.
Yeah, they're compounding. Like, over a long enough time horizon, you'll have amassed so many wins and built up so much momentum from that. It would once again be unreasonable for you to not be successful.
Correct. But people's time horizons are so low and so small.
Well, they're playing the short game, and some people play the long game. They're like, well, tomorrow I'm going to be a billionaire. That's what my shake the magic 8 ball real quick. Didn't get the answer that I wanted.
That's funny.
Like, dude, you have to master the day-to-day stuff as well. But if you don't
Yeah.
play the long game, because most people don't even recognize this. I didn't at first, but you're always running two businesses: the business that you're in and the business that you're becoming.
That's good.
And it can be
That's good.
frustrating to manage both. But here's the thing is like some people want to take on 17 different income streams. I've got an OnlyFans over here. I've got my e-commerce store over here. I'm selling t-shirts now to the high school. Like, is the CEO of Pepsi the CEO of Pampers Diapers? No. Keep your focus on one thing, because if not, it's going to get strewn so thin. Like you're placing all these marbles of attention in 15 different spots, and you wonder why you only got 17% of energy dedicated to work instead of 90. It's like your bandwidth isn't there.
Yeah, and that's like the biggest thing that I give, like the biggest piece of advice I feel like I've picked up is like literally it's so easy. Like millionaires have 7 income streams. Yeah, right. Like they used one. Literally, I talked to Ed Milet. I'm like, what advice would you give to a 21-year-old? I'm 21. How do I get to you when I'm 52? Right? Because he just turned 50, 52, whatever. And I literally backstage, I seized the moment. I think this is a thing: you face fear and you just run after it. We just got done speaking. All the Ultimate Agents got done speaking. We walk off the stage. Everybody's going to the left, and I look over to my right, and I see Ed Milet sitting there on a couch by himself, nobody there. I'm like, bro, everybody's going to the left. Like, why not go talk to a billionaire? Like, what are you guys doing? So I like literally went over there. I was like, hey, could I ask you a few questions real quick? He's like, yeah, for sure. And so then a bodyguard came, and he's like, hey, like give us some time real quick. So I was like, all right, cool. And I was like, I hope I'm not bothering you, but here's a couple things. I'm 21 years old. What like is the biggest thing that like the biggest piece of advice that you could give me? And he's like, honestly, like you're in one of the best industries right now. Like stay in it. It's going to be easy to like move your attention to different places, but like diversify later, just stay in one lane now. And he's like, I guarantee if you're able to do that, you'll end up more successful than I was. And I was like, geez, that's insane. And then he also said, like, it's really good to stay centered and grounded in God when all that money starts coming and flowing to you, because it just gets really tempting. And he's like, temptations are going to fly at you left and right. So if you keep your center and you keep like stay on this path, I guarantee you'll be successful. I'm like, all right, cool. So I think like that that was reinforced in me. Like I've always said it, but I think him saying it reinforced that it's true, because like everybody wants these different things. Oh, I'm going to get a real estate thing. I'm going to do this, that, whatever. And it's like, dude, just pick one lane and stay in it. Find the place. And this is why I'm so passionate about insurance, is because you literally like real estate will take 45, 90 days to actually get a check. Insurance, you sell, get paid the next day, sell, get paid the next day. You're able to build your net worth, and it's the vehicle. Dude, insurance, who cares? Like, honestly, like, I have a passion now because it's able to get to where we want to go. But, like, dude, nobody's really passionate about insurance from the start. But it's a vehicle, because once you get in that money vehicle and you go, all those different, like, all those different resources are going to help fuel different things. So you'll be able to diversify. You can do that later, but now focus on doing the little stuff now. Stay in the insurance game or wherever you're at and stay in it and just ride that. And then you'll be able to like add different stuff later. But I think like it honestly like doesn't make sense for people to like bounce around different stuff, because they're building different bridges and not going to be able to get to where they actually want to go, because they have a 10,000 half-built bridges when they
Correct. They never actually get across. And I'm like, I've got 3 opportunities. Which one should I do? Like any one of them, just pick one and stick with it.
Yep, exactly.
Like ignore the other 2, because
there's success in any industry. Any industry you could find success. But correct. Also some aren't smart, but right, it's the level 2 opportunity, the level 10 talent. Unfortunately, like there's a couple people I talked to and I was like, if I'm being straight up honest, you're in a level 2 opportunity and you have great talent, but you're not going to be able to get to where people are in like even this industry, because your vehicle's not there. Like it just doesn't make sense.
Correct. And what you were saying a while ago about being passionate, like you don't even have to be passionate to make this work. Like who is that David guy on he was one of the coaches there with you on Ultimate Agent. David
Which one? David Price?
David Price, that's who it is. Like he wasn't passionate about it. He was in it strictly for the money, from what I understood. But
Yeah, he is.
just
Was.
like you don't. Do you know who said work should be meaningful? Like who came up with that? Who said work? Who said life had to be meaningful? It's whatever meaning you give it. Like my meaning of life is totally different from yours and totally different from Ed Milet's. I don't know a lot of the same people who have the same capital N meaning of life. It's whatever you ascribe to it. And the more weight you put on that, like the more convicted you'll be. And like a piece of advice for any agents is conviction will correct your tone. And that is how you can outperform any seasoned salesperson. I don't care how good you are at selling something. Someone with the right tonality, like I bet if a pastor came in here selling insurance, you hear how they talk.
Yep.
Like I'm about to start I'm about to start an agency full of church pastors. You're doing the good Lord's deed. But they would kill it. Why? Their tonality. They're so convicted in what they're doing that they're trying to save people's souls. Like they care more about helping the person than getting a paycheck.
Dude, 100%.
And so you can trick or train your tonality. If you want to train it, like practice your script 25 minutes a day, 5 minutes of obstacle overcomes, and 30 minutes of watching game film like any professional athlete would do. And I promise you, once you're not sounding like you think you sound to yourself. Watch a video on yourself and you will cringe the first time you do it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Correct. Or you can just trick your conviction. Like if you would sell this shit to your mom, you're probably pretty convicted and you'll just say things the right way because you care so much about it.
Yeah.
So let's wrap this up, Johnny. First off, where can everyone find you at if they want to reach out to you before they get sucked in the black hole?
It's Johnny Nitafan, JOHNNYNITAFAN, on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We got a podcast from unknown to unforgettable. If you're a young entrepreneur, definitely tune in. We got a lot of good guests coming on. But yeah, it's that's the main thing. Email me, johnny@johnnynitafan.com. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Hit me up, 505-238-4062. And yeah, hit me up. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to help.
Yeah, let's close this down with one more question, man. What's for a struggling life insurance agent? Like they might be on the brink of divorce. Like that's the beautiful thing about change is you never know how far it goes. Someone's out there, they might be on the brink of divorce, brink of losing their house, but they have to make it work in this industry, man. They have to. It's a non-negotiable. What would you say to them? Or if you were in their shoes, what would you be doing?
Well, honestly, I was in those positions, and it's like if you align all the variables into your favor, which is being able to how much you pick up the phone, how many leads you get, if you have to make it work, you will. And if you put that's literally the best position to be, because a lot of millionaires struggle when they become millionaires because they lose that hunger. And honestly, you're in the best situation. The best stories come with the best obstacles. And so I guarantee if you have that mindset, change your mindset, daily things like where you want to be. Like you have to get out of that place that you're currently in. A lot of people stay in the same position that they're in because they don't take the time to actually clear their head and go to the place they want to go, because they're always so focused on what's now. So for you, if you're struggling right now, write down exactly what you want and just go after it. Write down 3 practicals on how you could do it. So if you're an insurance agent, I would just start dialing as many leads as you can, even if they're bonus leads. It doesn't matter. Any leads that you can get, start putting in the work. Do the boring work, do the little small things, start making the dials and just go, because I guarantee that there's success in those little piles. And all of a sudden you start gaining some momentum. And over time you see compound interest on the back end of if you have a penny and you compound it over and over and over for 30 days, you won't see anything crazy until like day 15. And all of a sudden, that back end of the 15 days is where you're actually going to start seeing result, 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 result. And I think if you're able to stay in that 300 to 400, 500 dials a day, I guarantee you can't fail if you don't quit. So don't quit, and you can never fail. If you make that decision, I guarantee you won't fail.
Correct, because your work works on you more than you work on it.
Yep.
And those compounding wins, dropping fire over here, Johnny.
Bombs, baby. Let's go.
Man,
this was fun, dude. Thanks for having me on this podcast. Appreciate you.
Hey, no, man.
I love everything you're doing. And yeah, if you guys aren't in running, buddies, still skeptical about it, you could reach out to me. I've gone through the course, been helped a ton by Mason. But yeah, feel free to hit me up.
Look how much business you're writing. You go from writing 40 grand in healthcare, not making crap, come over here writing 20 grand a week, making some good dough.
Dude, yeah, totally. But appreciate you, man. Thanks so much.
Hey, no, man. I love you, dude. Can't wait to talk to you again. I'll see you later, buddy.
Yeah, see ya.
All right, guys. If you like this, make sure you drop a comment on your favorite part. Go give Johnny a shout out. Thank him for pouring into you today. But I'm out. Bye.